Algebra tiles are an important tool to help students conceptualize math concepts. And on my screen, you can see that I've laid out some algebra tiles. And algebra tiles also work with the FluidMath equivalency tool. Clicking on the top of my screen, I can turn that on. And notice that all my tiles are now coded differently based on their value. If I drag down an x squared and its negative counterpart and click them together, notice that they have created a unit. Anything I snap together creates a unit. If I snap a negative and a positive x together, notice that the color of the zero pair now matches that of the one I created earlier. That is because the units match. Watch what happens when I incorrectly try to make zero pairs. The color coding helps guide me when I make mistakes. I have to use my ability to analyze the content of my page to figure out what I need to correct. Now that matches my other zero pairs. Notice that the system lets me figure it out on my own. This is more encouraging than getting a big ol' X. Again, notice that all my zero pairs are outlined in the same color, showing that they are in fact equivalent to each other. Looking at the remaining tiles on the top left of my screen, I can now use them to write out the corresponding expression. Notice that what I have written also matches the tiles, showing that they are equivalent. I can click on the math recognition to turn it into a math type. Let me show you another example. I want to use tiles to simplify this, so I click on the three dots. I choose the tile palette. If I'm doing this on a panel, I would want large. Students should choose small so it fits on their screen better. When I turn on the equivalency tool, I can see that these do not have the same color, which means they're not equivalent. So I'm going to keep going. The vertical bar represents equal. Notice that each one of these have been snapped into place and they're a part of one bounding box, which means they can move together as a unit. At this point, I would expect my two colors to be the same. As a student, the fact that they don't match tells me that I'm not quite there and I need to look for where I made my mistake. And I can see that I have a -3 or a -3 right here, which means if I click on these, now they match, which makes them equivalent. I am sure that you and your students are going to enjoy and have a little fun using algebra tiles.